Hi, my name's Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about why your past life sometimes just doesn't matter. This is a super interesting video topic, and it's been a long time that I've held this belief, and it's time to teach it because it's helping people more than it's helping people if I don't make this video. So, this video is going to be talking to you all about why your past life, sometimes and most of the time actually, truly doesn't matter. Well, I'm going to give you several examples. And how did I come to this conclusion? It's because I work with several people to help them move closer to God and to their highest good, and I work with several people to help them achieve their highest potential, their highest spirituality. What's the significance of a past life? Well, I'm going to tell you what the significance of a past life is. First of all, most past life readers are telling you misinformation. So you'll notice if you go to 5 or 6 different past life readers, 2 of them might be correct. Or not even, 1 of them might be correct. None of them might be correct. So if there's a trend and all of them are completely incorrect, most of the time these people have earthbound spirits in their ear just saying anything. Or that person's just creative and you can't really fact check a past life, can you? Well, with angels you can. With fallen angels you can, but at a cost. And I'll tell you about that very, very soon. But when it comes to your past life, how is it helpful? You get to find out who you were, and you can learn a few things from your past life and how they can help you in this present life. After that point, once you know a few things from your past life and you brought it over, it could be skills, it could be abilities, but those surface anyway with certain crystals and certain help. Those are there already. When it comes to your past life tells a lot about you, but not as much as you think. Now, when it comes to your past life in, let's just say if you're artistic now, you were probably artistic in a past life. Some people don't like to hear this, but your past lives are not always as exciting as you think they are. For example, someone came to me and they're just like, and my angels are not allowed to say everything about past lives. Angels in general are not allowed. There's a certain code in the rule book for angels to not be able to say everything about a past life because you can drag the past into the present, dragging the person down. Most often than not, in a past life, you were a lot more behind and a lot more, let's just say, not as developed as you are now. And that's one of the biggest things ever, because if you even look at a picture of yourself from 10 years ago, and you're on vacation, this is a really good example. This is the best example. If you're looking at a picture of yourself on vacation from 10 years ago, and you're constantly just looking at the picture, versus going on the vacation again, you're constantly looking at just something from your past about yourself that you can make into the present even better. So if in your past life, and like I said, some of your past lives are extremely, I'm not going to say boring, but plain. And that's a reality that people are not ready to face. So people are like, well, I was a superhero in a past life and I did this, and that. Some people's actual past life is they lived on a farm. And they had a husband or a wife. And they had a bunch of animals. Like, that's it. That's sometimes people's past life. That's people's current life right now. Some of the other places, like the other, I can say worlds that you've been on in past lives, they're a lot more simple. Some of them are a lot more not simple. When it comes to past lives, you have to really look inward to find certain traumas, because then you can treat certain traumas. So when would a past life be relevant? Let's just say you have some kind of heartache, some kind of pain relating to any kind of betrayal. You'll look at the past life, you'll treat the pain, then you'll move on. But if you always keep looking at that trauma, you're always going to keep bringing the trauma back. It's kind of like if a house has been haunted and you keep talking about the spirit in the house that was haunting the house, that spirit haunting the house is going to have energy again and it's going to come back right back up. So there's some really interesting thing about past lives. On the other hand, some people know every single detail about their past life for a few different reasons. Sometimes with a crystal such as Numite, you'll go to sleep and you will fully just immerse yourself in your sleep, and you'll just wake up and you'll have all these extra abilities. Because that crystal allows you to have certain downloads. When it comes to a crystal such as Larvakite, it'll allow you to recall past life information as well. So, why is recalling past life information helpful? Well, if you knew a bunch of stuff about crystals in your past lives, and you're recalling them, now you can incorporate with this life's information. When it comes to information about past lives in the sense of traumas, you release it with a crystal such as Rhodonite, which, even with that crystal, if you just feel like you have a past life problem due to this, and there's a trend, then that crystal will fix the problem. And you don't have to look at the past life. It's useful to know what you did in the past life. You'll find out anyway when you're at the end of this life. When you go into the next world, and you're in the in-between life stage, and you have your life played back to you, you find out, and it's like, oh, okay, versus there seems to be a trend, because once people find out their past lives, they're trying to live the past life again in this life, and in that life they were super, super, super behind. Like, they weren't as evolved as a person. A lot of times in past lives, some of us just lack a whole bunch of skills. So we're looking at a version of ourselves that's less than the version now. So I always like to say, if you look into the abyss looks straight back at you. A whole bunch of people who come into this world as mean people, you might have been the nastiest person ever in a past life, and if you didn't make it to this life, you wouldn't be making it to heaven. This is super interesting because, and this past lives are different for everyone. So you have to keep in mind that your past lives might be, they're all completely different. You might be in a different place. Not everyone's past life is Earth. I'm not going to tell you any more about that. Maybe in future videos I might talk about that, but in past lives, so many people just want to recall what they were and revisit, but sometimes revisiting subtracts from your current progress. And this is the biggest case with spiritual gifts. If you had this, a lot of you who have certain gifts right now, you've had those gifts in past lives, but they were underdeveloped in past lives. You're developing them more here, and you'll see them get more developed here. But let's just say, this is a better example. If you're at the gym, and you're in the gym lifting 60-pound weights, you're like, cool. The equivalent to that in looking at a past life is to look to see what you're doing when you're lifting 30-pound weights or 20-pound weights, or when you're just entering the gym. Why would that take you back? Because if you're looking at what 20-pound or 30-pound weights do to you, or for you, that's not going to benefit. It'll set you backwards. Like, you're doing 20-pound weights now when you were at 60-pound weights, and that no longer is it. That no longer benefits you. And you're focusing more on those older weights, and the older weights actually become the newer weights because you focus on them so much, so you just went backwards. In another case scenario, sometimes some of us are not meant to know certain details about our past lives. Like I said, for the people who are mean here, you might have been the nastiest person in the world in the past life, and that might awaken certain feelings in this life. Like I said, when you stare into the abyss will stare back at you, and you'll pick up old habits again. So, there is benefits to looking at past lives. Sometimes it'll come to you anyway. But what matters the most is this life, what you're doing in this life. Sometimes God does not let us know or see things about our past life, or even if we do know things, we don't fully hold on to those memories unless it's something we can learn and benefit from in this life to kill a certain trend. For example, in a past life, if someone backstabbed you really badly and now you're having all these relationship problems, you acknowledge a part of you before and before that and before that and before that, but it doesn't matter who you were before that because this is you now. You could look at a picture of yourself on Facebook from 10 years ago and be like, well, I had red hair at the time and my hair was shorter, whatever. But your hair is long now and it's blonde or purple or green. I'm just using different color examples because you're just a whole different person in this life. And focusing too much backwards will take you backwards. Now, when it comes to getting information on past lives, you have to be very careful. You'll uncover a certain set of beings that are not angels that will spill every single bean in the can. Every color of the rainbow will come out to you about your past lives, unless they feel like changing certain information, or unless the being has a motive, then they'll start telling you false information about your past life to kind of lead you in a certain direction. A lot of times, a demon or a fallen angel, which interchangeable terms, they might not be mean, but they'll be nice to be able to get information to you, to get energy from you. Basically, they'll pump your ego up. And even if and certain things demons say can be true, but they can twist it with bending the truth as well. When it comes to that, and you have past lives, and you're really powerful in a past life, it still doesn't matter, because you're here. You might not, I don't want to say too much, but you might have not been in the same I'm not allowed to say too much, but you might not have been in the same shoes in the past life as you are in this life. Sometimes in this life, you're not meant to have that much power in that sense, because the power didn't come from a good place. So you're meant to refine your current power and experience a new beginning in this life to move yourself closer to God and to the heavens and to beings of light and to angels. Like I said, if you look too much at past lives, it can be a downgrade. So look at your past lives, understand what you need to understand, and then you move on, you move forward. Okay, this is what I did in the past, moving forward. Cool. If you look at the past, and you look at the past every single day, because I know some people who look at their past lives every single day to see what they did, and like I said, it's the equivalent of looking at a Facebook picture on 2010. You're staring at the past life, you're trying to become what you became in the past, and you set yourself way back, and no one's there to tell you, like, hey, you're going backwards, because that's literally your past life. There's a reason we don't understand it fully. There's a reason we can't fully recall visions of what we were like. What we look like does not matter. Some people are stuck on what they look like. Some people are stuck on their family in the past life. Even in the past life, your family members in the past life, and you might not know a bunch of people from your past life now. Because there's information with a lot of spiritualists be like, well, we knew each other in past lives. Sometimes that doesn't matter. Because you could have known someone, just think about this life. You could have known someone 10 years ago, but they became a different person in 10 years. What does that say about your past life? So this person used to be really bad, have all these bad habits in this life, and you knew them, maybe from high school. And in 10 years, they changed extremely as a person, and they set forth into the future. They just decided to reinvent themselves, to change themselves, and level up. That's 10 years. 10 years can go by. Sometimes your past life, or past lives, you know how many tens of years have gone by for you to look back? It's kind of like looking at, well, I used to do this little dance in high school, but it used to get me in trouble, but I could do this little dance. If you didn't see my last video, I did a little dance in my video by accident. I'm just using that as an example. But the thing is, if you're trying to tap into an older version of yourself, the biggest message is you can go backwards, and it's not as beneficial because you want to go forwards, but the only way to go forwards from looking at your past lives is to understand and then to move forward. It's like, okay, I've had traumas with this. You can break traumas. You can heal traumas, but the second you hold on to traumas, you drag them with you. Now, for certain people, it's very interesting because very certain people, sometimes your past life doesn't mean a difference. It doesn't mean a thing. It's not helpful to you. It's not, like I said, and people don't want to accept this. This is the toughest thing ever to tell us, any kind of spiritual person, like, hey, your past life might have been, because if you have a very, very, very simple past life, sometimes your angel could tell you, like, hey, yeah, you helped animals in a past life. That's all you did. But people want a story. People want more. People want like an action movie. That's not how it is in every single life you're living, including this one. Think about what you're doing in this life. Maybe what you do in this life is, maybe you're a mechanic, and that's it. Sometimes you don't even live your full life in the past lives. Maybe you're a mortician. Maybe maybe you bake cakes. That's what you do. Same thing in the past life. You could have just done something really simple, and people are not ready to hear the truth about their past life being really simple, and you might be doing the same thing from the past life in this life anyway, so it doesn't matter. For example, someone who really likes art will find some kind of, their soul at a soul level. They could have done art 3 different lifetimes, but looking at a past life, no. This is a really good example as well. Looking at this life, if they focus on the art, their art will develop and change. It'll become new. It has they added to their experience as a being. Versus, okay, let me look at my past life and I want to see what, just a little detail over here and there. And then it sets you back. Now your art skills have gone down. I hope you guys are understanding the trend. Same thing with spiritual gifts. If you have spiritual gifts in a past life that have not fully made it over, certain crystals like Numite will download those for you. Then you don't have to look back at it again. You look back at your past life too much, or even what you did in a past life. Like, think about this. Let's just say you have something that you regret doing in this life. What happens if you keep bringing up that regret? It states that you haven't moved on, you haven't become better, and you're not able to move forward. So essentially, for some of you, and most of you, a past life doesn't matter. What matters is the now, because you looking at the past will ruin your future. That's my message of the video. Sometimes looking at the past to be able to fix a trend, like, oh, I did this, and that, that can do it, but if you know which crystal to use, like Morganite or Rhodochrosonite to completely fix bad trends, you don't even need to look at the past life anyway. Because you might not have known that trend was there, or bad thought pattern, bad energy was there. It removes it for you, so you don't have to look back at it. It's optional to look back at it. I hope this video resonated with you guys. It's kind of a tough message. It's just really this is not an easy message to tell people at all. It's like, hey, your past life might not make a difference. And this comes with experience. This comes from helping many people. The more people who I've helped uncover their past lives have stayed in the past. Their present continues moving on, and they're not accomplishing anything spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, because they're at where they were in the past. And that's why God doesn't allow your angels to give you every ounce of information about your past lives. Now, on this trend in the video, what happens for a past life dweller who likes to look back into lives too much? Sometimes, and this is not for everyone, this happened to me, you can uncover how you died. And once you tap into that pain, you'll have the most tremendous amount of anxiety in this life. And that's the exact thing I've been talking about in this video, because I've done it myself. I looked at a few lifetimes ago about how I died, and it popped up because I kept looking. Ask and it shall be given, seek and ye shall find. And I found out how I died, and I relived it, and it gave me a tremendous amount of energy I did not need just by looking back at it. So the point stays, if you look back at your past life, it's like looking at a spirit who haunted your house 3 years ago. If you're living in a house without hauntings, and you keep looking at the scenario, looking at pictures of the house, talking about the house, etc., that spirit can actually come into your new house, and your new house will have hauntings. The same analogy applies for past lives. I hope this video has helped you. I have very revolutionary knowledge on my entire YouTube channel, my TikTok, etc. It's super interesting. I'll have super rare past life crystals on my website soon, but keep in mind, what does a past life crystal do? It pulls up things from your past life that matters, and utilizes or releases them, so anything that doesn't matter doesn't really stick around for long, because you just make present in the present. I mean, you make progress in the present, because it could be a bouncy topic. Past, present, future. Every second you're watching this video, every second of this video just became the past for you. It also became optionally your future. You apply this video to your future, or you utilize information from the past that, depending if you utilize and use the information from the past correctly, it will benefit your future. It'll fully benefit your. I'm very excited about teaching this topic because it's been over a year. I'm like, oh, should I teach this? Should I teach this? Should I teach this? So when you're able to discern, looking at the past and looking at the present, you'll be able to become better in the present and in the future. It's kind of trippy. I'm like, oh, past, present, future. Here's another analogy. Coming from someone who rode horses in college, especially, and when they were teaching us when we were riding horses, they say, wherever you're looking is where you'll end up. If you're looking at the ground, then you're going to end up on the ground. Somehow, you'll fall off the horse, or the horse will somehow get you off, and you'll end up in the dirt. If you look to the horizon, to the end of the horizon, the horse will take you there. If you look back, you're going to fall back and you're going to go straight back. The same thing applies with past lives. If this video has helped you, please leave a comment. Tell me if it's not too confusing, and I'll make future videos about this because no one seems to be talking about this. That's what my YouTube channel's for. Check out my website, floridastoneman.com. I'll have more past life jewelry on there on how you can resurrect gifts from the past and release things from the past that are weighing you down so you can become a futuristic version of you. Check out floridastoneman.com, and I'm on Instagram as well. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!